the moment of the week, I think, is going to be no doubt the epic battle between Levi Kitchen and Haiden Deegan. Before you comment, we got a soundbite from both of them, and I think it'll be important to hear what they had to say and what their view on that battle was, and then we can comment on that. So Hector, go ahead and roll it.
Another perfect day. That's it's always nice. I think that's 5 in a row now. So slowly put my name in the record books on a 250, which is cool as well. And yeah, just continue to tick off these races. It was a pretty wild one. Me and Levi went at it for the whole 15. It was tricky because there's a lot of lappers and we ran into them quick. And the problem with the lappers is it's so ruddy, they're just doubling the rhythms and they'll go right down that main line. So you're having to pivot the bike, and I was some of the rhythms I had to cross up the lips. It was a little scary, but I'm like, gotta do what I gotta do.
I actually thought I had got away, to be honest. So the first time that he ran it in, it surprised me for sure. And I was like, oh boy, like now we're going to have to just battle it out. And I didn't know how much longer we had. I'm pretty mad at myself because my time management was horrible. Like I was so caught up in the race with him that, I came around and it was white flag towards the end there. And I'm just like, damn it. Like now there's a little bit too far of a gap. I don't know if I can get there.
Yep. Yeah. No.
All right. RV, you watched it. I have a couple questions for you. Do you feel like there was anything out of line with that battle? Did you love watching the battle? You give us and our great fans in the world of SMX your insight on that battle and what you liked, or maybe what you thought was borderline, brother.
No, I thought it was pretty clean. There's might've been one little questionable spot where Haiden kind of like jumped one of the jumps and not stopped, but slowed down a lot. But all in all, that was a very exciting 250 main event to watch. That's for damn sure. I liked that Levi, was actually he was able to come through a few of the riders to put himself in that position. And like Levi said, he didn't have the best time management on the track. I thought he had the speed, and this ride from Levi is what I have and what I think everybody expects from Levi, to put himself in that position and be able to ride like that every single weekend. And if he were able to do that more in the past, I think his time management would have been better. He would have been potentially been able to have a little bit lower heart rate, manage his race a little bit better if he has been able to put himself in that position more times. So I feel like Haiden rode an amazing race. Levi did too, on a very technical track. And man, I could hear the stadium watching it on the broadcast. That stadium is awesome for the sound of the fans and how wild they do get. But all in all, I thought the racing that we had was epic in that 250 class, and there wasn't really a ton that I would question. I thought Haiden did a great job staying clean but racing hard, and same with Levi. And it's cool to see at the end of the race here, you can see the ones watching on YouTube here that Levi, Haiden stopped and Levi came up to him, and it seemed like pretty good morale after that. It wasn't like they were pissed at each other. All in all, it was a good race.
Yeah, I think I go back to the only move that was a little questionable, and I think this might have been the one you were talking about, was the one where Haiden tripled onto that table and then went over the single, and he came in there pretty heated, like with some speed, I say. Other than that move, I think I was all for it. I thought I don't care who you're a fan of or who you're not a fan of, RV, I think that was entertaining as hell, man.
Yes,
and
it was.
Races like that gravitate fans to this epic sport, dude. And obviously, if you're a Kitchen fan, you're not stoked with how it turned out. If you're a Deegan fan, you're super pumped on how it turned out. But overall, it was, from a racing standpoint, dude, it was so much fun to see. I love the camaraderie and the sportsmanship after the race. You kind of talked about it right there. There you go. Shaking hands. Hey, good ride. That was fun as hell. Blah, blah, blah. Haiden said he was going to try to do an emote. I figured out what an emote is. You might know because your kids are younger.
Do not. What is it?
No. So an emote is like basically in this day and age, or like on Fortnite. after you win, it's like a celebration. So
Okay.
yeah, he was just like celebrating. So he's gonna do a little emote there, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And yeah, so they just showing some sportsmanship there. He didn't do that with the emote. So anyhow, I thought it was great. One thing I will say that I think helped Haiden win, two things. Number one is at the beginning of the race, RV, him and Levi were right there, like third or fourth, or let's just say fifth, sixth, I think. And and Haiden was able to make a lot of clutch passes early. He went up there and he made those moves. And had Eli done that, or Levi done that, I think it would have been a different story, maybe. So just critiquing what Levi did, if he was able to make those passes, it would have been better for him. So I was impressed how Haiden was able to do that. And then Levi was the fastest guy, I feel like, overall. But it was pretty brilliant what Haiden was able to do. And I feel like there was a sense of, Haiden saw Levi catching him. And as he was catching him, he's probably like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to slow this dude down and like disrupt his momentum. And really, Levi fell right into that. Even Levi said he kind of got caught in the race. And if in the 450 class, it's a little bit harder to do that. So I'll role play it for you guys. In RV, this is like if you're catching a dude and you see that he's on life support, and then he starts playing games with you. He knows that he can't win, and the only way for him to win at that stage is to ruffle your feathers and maybe cause you to make a mistake. And yeah, again, just disrupt that momentum that you have, and hoping that you will fall into his pace and ride his speed. And I feel like that's what Haiden did with Levi, and Levi just couldn't continue that pace that he had to catch up to Haiden. And Levi put in some fantastic laps. I think it's live and learn. I mean, again, like Levi said, he was bummed on his race management, and the biggest thing is, yeah, he got he got caught up in that game that Haiden was playing, but it worked out great for Haiden. He executed that race perfectly. Levi felt, I wouldn't call it a trap, but yeah, he just started racing Hayden's race at that stage, and Haiden ended up winning. As far as that, do you feel like that was intentional, and that was what? I mean, obviously we're not in Hayden's head, but do you feel like that was why he started to do that, because Levi caught him so fast?
Yeah, I think that he, with the current track conditions and the way it was, I don't think Haiden could just run away with them. Levi was riding super well Saturday night, and I think that the more Levi puts himself in that position, like he hasn't raced with Haiden like that for that many laps, and done what he did up front like that, multiple times this season, where Haiden has. So number one, the more you do that, the better Levi will get, the fitter he will get, the more time management he will get, heart rate he can manage, keep it down. So that probably came into it a little bit later in the race with Levi, but also Haiden had to revert back to say, I can't just, pull a gap on him and run away with this thing. Levi was on the gas. So
Yeah.
he had to figure out, okay, well, I'm not running away with it. So how can we, and it was, as the laps clicked down too, the track was getting worse. So you're not going to be able to keep pushing and try to actually go faster. You're trying to, number one, just execute the rhythm sections and the jumps, because the ruts were getting deeper. And then the lappers came into the mix also. So I think Haiden had to revert back to, how can I manage this race from a defensive versus offensive?
Yeah, I thought that regardless of, again, I go back to, man, it was just a hell of a race. I'm with you, like that, like you said in your breakdown with the battle. Those are the type of rides that certainly, and I'm with you, that I was expecting from Levi all season long, because that was a perfect example of that's what he's capable of doing. So great to see Levi get up there and ride how we all know he's capable of riding. And again, I think overall from a sport perspective, it was just a great battle, and that's what we love. And it was an opportunity to help grow the sport.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports. If you enjoyed what you just watched, well, it's time to bring the action and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel. You can have it all: news, highlights, interviews, and analysis. So go for it.